In the summer of 1979, in a quiet Pennsylvania town, a 27-year-old mother kissed her 5-year-old daughter goodbye, and vanished on her way to work at the local supermarket. No body. No witnesses. No answers. For decades, her name was just another cold case file collecting dust in a county office, until one tiny drop of saliva, sealed in an envelope for 40 years, cracked the silence wide open. What really happened that day? Why did no one see her leave? And how did she end up living a double life, just one state away? This isn't fiction. This is a real story, and you're about to uncover the truth that took a lifetime to find. One daughter never gave up. One test changed everything. Hit like, subscribe, and let's go. Donna Whitmore lived a quiet life on the edge of Millfield, a sleepy Pennsylvania town where nothing ever really changed. Every morning, she packed lunch for her daughter, brushed her chestnut hair into a neat bun, and walked the same cracked sidewalk to the corner store where she worked part-time. She wasn't famous, or flashy, just a kind face, always smiling, always on time. Locals remember her as the girl with the soft voice and sad eyes, though no one could explain the sadness back then. Her days were ordinary, filled with grocery lists, laundry, and bedtime stories. She loved warm tea, Sunday radio, and folding her daughter's little dresses with care. But even in a town where time seemed to stand still, something was shifting. Something small. Unseen. And it was about to change everything. July 18, 1979, started like any other humid summer morning. Donna tied her apron, kissed her daughter on the forehead, and stepped onto the porch with a gentle wave. But that day, she never came home. Her manager called that evening, said she'd never shown up for her shift. Her purse was found inside the house. Her car, untouched. No signs of struggle, no packed bag, nothing missing, except her. At first, neighbors thought maybe she just needed air, maybe she'd come back tomorrow. But tomorrow turned into a week. Then a month. Flyers faded in the sun. Her daughter waited by the window each evening, clutching a ragged teddy bear. And though police searched the nearby woods and questioned every passerby, there were no footprints, no answers, only silence. A perfect life, interrupted. And somewhere, in that silence, the truth was already hiding. Days turned into weeks, and the walls of Donna's little house began to feel colder, quieter, almost haunted. Her daughter, too young to understand, began asking questions with wide, uncertain eyes. Did mommy forget me? But adults around her had no answers. Police found no fingerprints out of place, no broken locks, no signs of a struggle. But then came something strange. A neighbor, Mrs. Callahan, mentioned seeing Donna talking to a man by her gate just days before she vanished. Tall, dark coat despite the heat, leaning close like he knew her. No one else saw him. No name, no car, no record. And then, the phone calls started. Silent ones. Always around 3 a.m. Just breathing. Then clicks. Her sister swore she heard someone outside the house one night, but by the time she looked, only empty road and fog. Something wasn't right. And they all felt it, too late. 40 years later, little Emily, now a grandmother herself, sat in her kitchen, scrolling through an online genealogy site. Just a curiosity, she thought. A free DNA kit had arrived in the mail, part of a family history project. But what returned wasn't just data, it was a match. A close biological relative. Female. Living. And with a name Emily had never seen. At first, she thought it was a glitch. A cousin maybe. A distant relative. But no. The DNA was too strong. Too close. She clicked deeper, and saw a face. A face aged by time, but unmistakably familiar. Her mother's eyes. Her mother's mouth. A name attached to a woman living quietly in New Jersey under a completely different identity. Emily froze. Her breath caught. This wasn't closure. This was the beginning. A mystery that had slept for 4 decades, had just woken up. Emily couldn't sleep. The woman in the photo, she had a new name, a new family, a house just 3 hours away. For a moment, Emily hoped it was just a coincidence. But the birth date matched. The hometown. Even a small scar on her chin, just like the one her mother had from falling off a bike as a girl. It wasn't a stranger. It was her. But how? Why? The questions came in waves, crashing hard. Had she run away? Had she forgotten them? Or worse, had she chosen this life? Emily felt something sharp twist in her chest, not just grief, but betrayal. All these years, believing her mother was dead, murdered, taken. And now to find her, alive, smiling in holiday photos with a family that wasn't theirs. This wasn't just a personal tragedy anymore. It was a secret buried deeper than anyone imagined. And now, it demanded to be unearthed. Emily drove to the address in silence. Hands trembling on the wheel. Her heart pounded like it did the day she first gave birth, only now, it was fear giving it rhythm. The house was small, cozy. A wind chime swayed gently on the porch. And there she was, an older woman tending flowers, humming softly. It was her. The mother she'd mourned. The mother she'd waited for. Emily wanted to scream, cry, run, but she walked closer. And then, the door opened. A man stepped out, older, frail, but with sharp eyes. Her mother's second husband. Not a stranger, but the man neighbors saw all those years ago. The man in the coat. The man with no name. She'd left with him. Willingly. That truth hit harder than any grave ever could. This wasn't a kidnapping. It was a vanishing act. And now, Emily had to decide, ask the questions, or turn away. Was she ready for the answers? The conversation didn't go as Emily imagined. There were no tears, no embrace, no trembling apologies. Just silence, and a quiet, almost fragile voice saying, "I couldn't go back." Her mother, now called Margaret, admitted everything. The affair. The decision. The fear of being found. She claimed she tried to write once. Then stopped. Said she'd built a new life. That she was a different person now. But Emily wasn't ready for that. Her childhood grief had just been rewritten as abandonment. Her mother hadn't died, she'd chosen to disappear. The pain was blinding. Generations of hurt compacted into a single hour on a stranger's porch. Emily walked away, barely breathing. It felt like the end. Like she'd lost her all over again. But that night, as she sat in her car beneath the dim yellow glow of a gas station light, her phone buzzed. A message. Just one line. From her mother. "Do you want to talk again tomorrow?" The next day, Emily went back to Margaret's house, but this time, she didn't walk in with questions. She walked in with her heart open. For the first time in years, she wasn't hunting for an answer that would fill the hole. She was looking for the woman who had once loved her, even if she didn't know how to show it. Margaret, hesitant at first, finally let Emily in, literally and emotionally. They spoke for hours. Of regrets. Of choices made and unmade. Of the woman she had been and the mother she had lost. And then came the unexpected twist. Margaret had kept everything. The old photos. The letters. The journal. Emily realized she wasn't just looking for answers anymore. She was looking for a way to heal. The past wasn't perfect, and maybe it never could be, but with every shared memory, every word, something fragile but real began to rebuild between them. It wasn't closure. But it was a beginning. Emily stood at the window of her home, looking out at the small town she had left behind so many years ago. The world felt different now, heavier, yet lighter. Her mother was alive, but the woman she had been was gone, replaced by someone new. Was that enough? Was the truth enough to heal the decades of silence? Margaret had tried. She had shown her that sometimes, forgiveness isn't an instant thing, it's a process. But the scars remained. Emily knew now that the search for closure was never about finding the perfect ending, it was about finding peace within the questions that would never fully be answered. Maybe, after all these years, peace was the only thing worth seeking. So, what about you? If you were in Emily's shoes, could you forgive someone who walked away from you without a word? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs to hear it. What would you do if you found the truth, but it wasn't the truth you expected?